All right, it is Sunday. It is January 3rd. I'm going to look at some low float penny stock spikers. I did videos before on some spikes. Secrets revealed, some stocks that could make you serious bank. And I'm going to try to do 15 here again. Yeah, these are all low float to a certain extent. I didn't look exactly at the float, but they're all stocks that are, they've moved before. They're typical stocks that do these moves. Here's Kern. I might even talked about this before. This is back last year in July. It spiked up all the way to 70. And this is purely technical. I'm not even looking at fundamentals now, just, the chart exactly. This came down to 4, spiked to 12, and the 4, spiked to 10, and came all the way back again. Looks like, I would say down here, we'll call this like 225, 2 level. Yeah, if this comes back to 2 again, will it bounce or go through? I would look for 2 as a stop. Yeah, longer term. If you get any kind of news, see this, we'll probably get a 4 or 5. Oh, look for this trend line. See this trend line coming down? You have 1, 2 connections. I would look towards like 5 or 6, maybe, if this really spikes. This is all depending on news. And here is Ovid. This was an IPO back in 2017. It was near 16, came all the way down to, let's see here, 155. And then this was back in 2019. It bounced, 3, 2. It kept bouncing. So let's see the low here. Low keep getting higher. Let's keep getting higher with the 5. And then this came all the way down to, what's this, 2, back in March of 2020. And look at this. Then it took off all the way to a high of 940. Came back in the 5. Then it had a big gap down in December. Where this thing right now is at, what's this low here? Like 225. All gaps will be filled eventually, supposedly. Now the low in this, this could fall back to this low here. Maybe 150-ish. So I'll put this trend line because it's connecting now. See this 1, 2. Yeah, this could go back to 150 though still. So there's no sign right now this is going up. It might hold here, go sideways and go up. So I would look towards 253, the bottom of this gap, maybe 315. Any kind of positive news, this is going to shoot up into this gap. Eventually possibly 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll see. That's a longer term thing. If there's some positive data on this, it's therapeutics. I'm not even looking at their drugs or anything. I had no idea, but just technically, they're going to try to push it up probably eventually. So that has good potential here on a technical chart. Let's see, PAVM. Yeah, this came down from 2017. It's found support at like 84 cents. You can see down here, look at this line. Really spiked up January 20. Came back down like 131, then bounced in April. Then went sideways, came back to 175. This 175 line's pretty big here. See this? How many times it's held? I would look for 175, maybe slightly below. It looks like it wants to climb up again. It's this very sideways, choppy action. So, 175 clear support. This could go to 225, 250, maybe 275. And if we get really positive news, this 3 to like 350. So look for that technically. See how it's hovering here, just sideways chop. HTBX. I got all these lines here. Let me delete these. Yeah, this is total junk stock. You can see this. It did a reverse split, reverse split recently. Trying to draw lines now. How would this play out? If I draw it down here, when these have splits, it's tough to draw any lines here. You can draw a huge line here. Let me see here. Does this connect? That connects. See, here's a line right up here. This is the move in 2017, even though it's like a split. Yeah, this is not really like a true line, I would guess. See, it spiked up. There's reverse splits, but the spike, and this is the line. See how I hit another spike? And I have an old line right here. I guess I could draw a line way down here. See this low? See this? It's like a big, you can call it almost like a flag. This is a descending triangle that move up. Yeah, the low came down. Let's see here. Trying to see if this connects here. I guess you could put it just below 2. See here, this came all the way washed down. So it's like 220, but reverse split came all the way down to like 10. Then it came all the way down to this like 140 mark, came back up all the way to like 29. Look at this spike back in July. That's an impressive move. 13 started to go up. This is a really good move for penny stock. As far as, it didn't do one day spike. This was multiple days, came back down. After reverse split, these eventually start to move again. It's not doing nothing now. Although on this chart, you see the low here. I'm looking at like the ultimate low recently. This could fall back. You don't know, to 150, maybe even 1. It's just drifting now. Any news will spike up again. So this doesn't show anything now. Like it's just nothing. It's flat. Could spike at any moment. You don't know. Any day at this point. So it's nothing I would look at immediately now. Here's Sava. This is like a wild chart here. I have all kinds of lines on this. This had to move back in 2020. Bounced down. March bounced up huge. Then we hit a gap down. And then right here, see these signs, these candles spike, spike, spike. This wanted to go up. You knew eventually you'll fill this gap, and look what it did. Filled over the gap. That's a really good move. Came back to 850, bounced up. Came back down. Now it's going back down again. It's just fading back down. So that's not a good sign. I mean, it's falling backwards. You usually don't see that. You don't know what this is going to do then. Like, is it going to fill this gap back down? Is this going to go all the way down to like $1? I guess anything's possible. But this chart is very up and down. This chart is really based on, if there's news, it spikes up again. Otherwise, it's drift. It's just drift down there. There's nothing there. Here's ISR. This is total junk stock, 46 cents. Let me draw this down right here. On this, there's a lot of lines here. Dude, where was this connected? Let me get a weekly. Where would you connect lines on this? I mean, this is like, if you draw down here, see this connects, or this is actually the highest, the bottom of that, bottom of this part of the candle. This is longer term move. These are lines too. These are like the ultimate lines, like on the chart. I mean, your highest move. See this bounce and all the way down. This went to 46 cents from like 850. A lot of spikes here. Then it bounced up to 350. See, that's what a trend line is. You have a line here, came back up, and it's a line. See, it didn't break that line. That's why it's a trend line. Came up here, went all the way back down. And what do you have here? Yeah, it's hovering. What's this low here? Yeah, this one's high. Low is 14 cents. Total junk stock. Really, this low. When they're this low, they could go to 5 cents, 10. And then you have the $1 line here. Extremely important penny stock line. Bouncing back. This could bounce up to $1 again. I mean, the low is not really much to the downside. Quarter goes bankrupt. I didn't look at the financials, but that's possible. All right, so that's that. SRGA. It's another terrible chart here. See if these lines sort of connect. Yeah, this has a trend line here, came down, bounced up. Even low at 150. All right, so this is, you can see the downtrend from here up. Came all the way from up here, down here, then broke up and came back down to like 150. Look at this line, and bounced up again, but see the high getting lowered and bounced again. You know, above 150 right here to this line. Came back close to it, didn't really touch it exactly. See if I can make this tighter. Yeah, you want to make your lines really connect. Does that connect really? Yeah, sort of. You know, these are above it. Nothing's exact, but you can see how. See this? Another move, another movement. All the highs are getting lower. You know, according to this is a really bad downtrend right now. The last 3, 4, 5 days, this could touch that 150 area. You know, if 150 don't hold, they're going back pretty far. It looks like I would look for 150 to hold. Maybe buy there. It's really getting oversold. Could have a bounce before that. That's that chart. On that, SLDB had a big breakout. This has a huge gap from 11 back in 2019 late. Came all the way back and found support. Look at that 2 line, and then it bounced up on news or whatever it was. 3 held, and this has been going up since. Now this is, you know, it's sort of in the middle of the gap. Could they fill it here? Yeah, this is another gap all the way up to, you could say like 21, over 20. To the long term, this is looks like it's bottomed, and this is really wants to come up. There might be, you know, more positive news in this. It's a bio stock. I like this stock has more potential because you can see from the downtrend the gaps, 1, 2, and it's getting very overbought here, which is could be good or bad. It could be there's a drop coming, or maybe it's going to stay overbought with good news. All right, here's ALRN. This has been in a downtrend since like 2017 late, all the way down from 15 to like 50 cents, and on back and forth. $2 line, you can see many times in 250, a lot of spikes, couldn't hold. This one up here couldn't hold, came all the way back. It's at the $1 line, very important. If one don't hold, who knows? This has come back and test that around that quarter line. So look for that. You know, if this spikes up again, watch it too, maybe 225, even near 250. This gets really good news here. All right, this is DFFN, another stock. Massive spikes, reverse splits. Let's see here. Let me try to connect these. Yeah, these don't really connect that well. You want to have your lines connect as best as possible. These are all off. So this line will say here to here. All right, let's see what we got up here now. There's so many like spikes in this. Some of these charts are absolutely crazy. Yeah, if you're looking at it this way, there's a line there, lines pretty much touching. This has a gap towards 16. Then you have spikes towards this 10. See this? Came back. A lot of spikes here. Yeah, so you have the quarter line. It broke all the way up to 150, came back down to 75. You know, the $1 right here. Could this spike again? It looks like it's possibly wants to 125, 150. And then, you know, what's it going to do after this? Yeah, to fill this, 16 would have to be like some huge news of a partnership or some major drug happening. You can see the spikes up to this line too. This 10 line, look at this. 1, 2, 3. Below that, you have 6. An immediate one, like we're saying, you have 150. So we'll see what this does. This looks like it's good potential. All right, here's ADAP. Big move down all the way to below $1. Huge spike. 5, came back down to 2. Then we spiked up to 13. Came all the way back. And the lows are pretty much holding. That's good. When the low gets higher, that's very positive. It's sort of a trend line now here developing. Yeah, this could get up towards 855, maybe 10 again if this spikes. Not a gap, but a drop down. You know, look for this 4 to hold. You can see right here this cross. So look for that level. ADAP. All right, here's APT. And this is Alpha Pro. I think they had COVID stuff. Or is this now building materials? I'm not sure. APT. I forget what they do exactly, but this had the spike back up in March. Look at that. This went to 40 plus. And line on this here. I guess I could take this out. So this is the big move up here. That big move. Yeah, this connects. See how well this connects? Look at this. That's how you draw your lines. A big move in March. This was 2020. Then it came crashing down sideways. Looks like 10 held pretty well just below. Then bounced up again. 25 bounced again lower. You know, you're not going extremely lower. That 10 looks like it's been holding for a long time. So here up and then to move up. See, once it breaks this too, then that trend line is gone really. But it didn't break it. So it's coming back down. If 10 doesn't hold, you know, this could fall back to that 5 level. So if this bounces up, a little gap here, this could bounce up to 12, 14, maybe 15, 16 with good news. We'll see on that. This is MBY, Nova Bay, major spikes back in March. You know, this one from a quarter, 125, 175 almost plus. You know, it did hit 175. Came back down to 50 cents or 75. You know, low held here, didn't drop all the way back to a quarter. See this? It did 50 cents. And maybe this spikes up again. Maybe we're going to get ready. See this? When you have that low hold, maybe we have $1, 150, 2. So this looks like it has potential here. Now, is there any trend lines crossing down? This chart's kind of a mess. Trying to connect these right here. I mean, this is the highest point. It's only one connection. I'm not sure how good that is, but see this come down. That was the biggest spike. So, you know, if this gets up towards this 250 range, we'll see what happens. But this has potential if there's any drugs with this or, you know, they pass whatever FDA clearance. We'll see. All right, Smgx, another garbage stock. You know, this came all the way down. This came down to that one range. You know, going back here, this stuff was 25, came all the way back, all the way back. And this is how you draw it too. See right here? See how this was a wedge? See that big move with the reverse split 8 all the way back, back and forth, back. Computer froze here. So this went back and forth. Look at this, back, back. And it's so tight. You draw your low line, your high line. That's called a falling wedge. Then it broke out. You know, it took a while. It took a few months, and finally, look at this, took off. Took off from 1 all the way to 350, came back down. Bounced up, came back down. Then we had a gap down. It must have been a drug fail or something failed on this, whatever this does, health biotech. Yeah, we're at 125. This falls again. Usually a one gap down will hold, but you don't know for sure. It's trying to hold 125. You have 75. And on this just below, like 67 cents. So, you know, if this gets good news again, it might take some time and this will come back up and test that probably 275 to 350. So we'll see on that. So, you know, that one's not looking as good here. So you don't know what this is going to do. Could fall back further. So we'll see on that. All right, that's it for today. Just some quick low float spikers. You know, these stocks are penny stocks. They make wild moves. Look at the spikes. They all do these crazy moves because it's low float pretty much. And, you know, they're going to get any kind of news. You know, traders going to jump on it. You get wild intraday moves. So there's some buy, sell points to look at. Take a look at the video and please subscribe. We're out for now. Peace.